Hi, guys. This is Nicolette Roux. I'm here with Chris on Health in the Real World, and we're talking all about how to get healthy in this modern world.
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
The Health in the Real World podcast is sponsored by most exercises and workouts, whether they be running, biking, elliptical, rowing machine, traditional weightlifting, or even CrossFit, do not give you a balanced workout. And when you do workouts that neglect even one area, you're out of balance, resulting in pain and injury as well. Achieve your goals with the fitness program your chiropractor would love. Visit chrisjanke.com/pod to watch the free video.
Hello and welcome to Health in the Real World. I'm Chris Janke and I'm joined today by Nicolette Roux. Nicolette, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Thanks, Chris.
Good. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Can you give us a quick introduction as far as who you are, what you do? I know you're big into fitness, so kind of who do you help in the fitness space?
Sure. Well, I am a quadruple certified fitness instructor. So I'm certified to teach. I have a 300-hour yoga teaching certification. I teach barre, I teach indoor cycling, and I've also trained to teach on a VersaClimber, which is basically a simulated cycling or climbing experience indoors, indoor climbing machine, if you will. I also write about a lot of tech for health and fitness for imore.com and androidcentral.com. And I just started teaching for a brand new virtual fitness platform called Freebeat. We just launched September 2021, which is a gamified indoor cycling and strength training experience.
Nice. That's awesome. What was your road to all this, to the writing and to, the training, the yoga, everything that you've been doing? What was kind of your path? How did you get on this path?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I grew up playing all different kinds of sports. I played basketball and soccer from like age 5 all the way through high school. I ended up playing varsity basketball and soccer. I ran track. I tried volleyball. I tried tennis. My dad was a huge athlete, so he really started me early. And towards the end of my college experience, I'm also an actor, and rather than be a waiter actor combo trying to make it in Los Angeles, I was like, well, I have to look good for my job. I might as well get paid for it.
There you go.
Something I love to do. So let's take these skills I've been working on like truly my entire life and transfer them into a career type situation. So that's how I got into it. I fell in love with indoor cycling and yoga towards the end of college. I want to say I think I took my first, both indoor cycling and yoga classes my junior year of college. And it was love at first, like ride and pose. It would just, the movements felt so good in my body. I have pretty bad knees after playing basketball and soccer through my younger years. So running isn't really an option for my body anymore. So indoor cycling is such a great low impact cardiovascular exercise that I can do endlessly and not put a ton of strain on my joints, specifically my knees. And yoga just, I think, helps with everything. Obviously, my mental health, that's why I practice yoga the most, is just, it's my meditation space and helps clear my mind, but also has increased my range of motion and helped my athletic ability in so many other areas as well.
Yeah. I like what you were saying earlier about how, just pick a movement. Like, what do you like doing? Whether it's yoga, cycling, running, basketball, soccer, it's going to be different for everybody, but there's, a million different ways to get fit and stay fit. It's like, there's really no excuse, right? And you were saying, talk to us about the virtual reality
Yes. So
movement that you're talking about.
yes. So there are so many ways to move. And that's what I like. That's the number one thing I tell to people trying to get in shape is find movement that you love. There's so many different things that you might not necessarily even know about. For example, if you're a big gamer, that you can now get fit in virtual reality. So I just reviewed a game called Fit XR, and it is a virtual reality fitness experience where you can do boxing classes, you can do dance classes, you can do HIIT classes in virtual reality, which is amazing. Like these worlds that you're transported to. This game is specifically designed for Oculus Quest 2. Have you ever done any Oculus?
I have not,
It
but
is It's
pretty
truly mind-blowing. If you
really.
ever get the chance, I highly recommend it. I had no idea how capable we were of virtual reality, but it is truly,
Really.
truly mind-blowing. I was blown away.
I guess
Um,
I'm a little bit nervous about, like, the one story you hear about somebody who was like wearing the virtual reality goggles and then like walked off a cliff or something. And
yes, you don't do it next to cliffs.
right.
Definitely create a safe space. Actually, that's part of the Oculus Quest is before you start playing any type of game, you have to create a safety boundary. So you map it out in whatever space you're in. And if you get too close to that edge, it will tell you and back you up. It'll like
Oh, that's
vibrate
good. Okay.
yeah, and tell you to move back, or like all of a sudden you're not in your VR world anymore. You see your living room and that you're just about to run into the TV. You know
Oh,
what
it
I'm
takes you, it like turns
Yeah,
off the
it'll take
screen
you
and
out
then
of it.
allows you to see. Okay,
Exactly.
that's good. I can get down with those safety measures. I think that's a good idea.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
those definitely need to be in place. And definitely with Oculus Quest 2, it is by far the coolest VR experience I've ever experienced. Not that I'm extremely experienced with virtual reality, but I loved it so much I bought one for my husband for his birthday. Like
Nice.
it is awesome.
Nice. Does he, how frequently does he use it? Is he like a daily
He uses it a
exerciser
lot.
or?
So he's someone that like he went through a pretty serious injury as a child. He was in a pretty horrific skiing accident,
Mhm.
and physical movement is not easy for his body. A lot of like general physical movement that you would think of today is not easy in his body. So this was kind of and he loves gaming. So I introduced him to Fit XR, and there's a bunch of other ones like Beat Saber that aren't necessarily fitness games, but you're going to
Mhm.
work up a serious sweat if you play it, specifically if you get into the harder levels. So I actually bought it for him as a fitness tool, and he loves it. He uses it frequently, like definitely once a week, if not more. He, like anyone, will go through phases of like certain things that they get into, and I'll do
Right.
it like maybe 5 days in a row and then take a break and then get back into it. But it's kind of a cool option for people. Like when you think gamer, you don't really think like
Right.
fitness, you
You
know?
don't you don't necessarily think of the guy who's like in peak fitness with the muscles. You kind of
Right.
think of like,
Exactly. Not to say that they
uh,
don't exist, because I'm sure they do,
right. Of
but it's
course. Yeah.
just nice to see that there's like an option for like serious gamers to get fit in virtual reality.
Yeah. Yeah. You can sort of blend the two together. Well, I'm very, I don't know, I guess I would say very narrow. I have a similar background to you. Like I grew up playing basketball, soccer, baseball, football, a little bit of hockey when the Sharks came to town to San Jose.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
hey.
and and then just like some weightlifting and high intensity stuff on the side, a little bit of track running, stuff like that. So I think I'm very limited as far as what I actually do, but I'm super open-minded to whatever. So I'm fascinated by this virtual reality that I mean, if you can get, honestly, it really doesn't matter how.
Yeah,
Just do something, right? Pick something and do
totally.
it, right? Stay consistent, right?
Stay consistent, find something that you love. Working out should never be a punishment. It should be like the best part of your day. For me, I'm a mom, I have a 2-year-old. So I used to be able to dedicate like 1 to 3 hours even to working out
Hmm.
in my pre-baby life.
Not with the
Now
2-year-old.
I'm lucky if I get 20 minutes sometimes.
Right.
So, but 20 minutes, that said, you can do a really productive, valuable workout in 20 minutes. And it is such, for me, like trying to balance a lot of things at once between being a mom, my career, and trying to like carve out some time to be physically active every day it's a juggling act.
Sure.
But it's like those 20 minutes are some of my favorite 20 minutes of the day. You know, it should be working out should be something I think that you look forward to rather than like, oh, I have to do this so I can go out to Taco Tuesday with my friends. Or
Right.
like, you know, it should never, don't beat yourself up. It should be
Right.
something joyful.
Well, and this, you know, we were talking about with your two-year-old daughter, you said?
2-year-old daughter, yeah.
With your daughter, one that she's gonna be 5 going to kindergarten before you know it. I
Yeah.
have 4 kids and 3 of them are in school right now.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So you
Yeah,
know what it's like. Sometimes
I
it's
know what
hard
it's like,
to find the
and
time.
sometimes it's hard, but you know, health in the real world, like you're gonna be a mom for the rest of your life,
Yep,
so you know
exactly.
you have to learn to juggle both those aspects and find a time to give yourself what you need in
Yes.
addition to caring for your daughter, obviously. So uh, it's, you know, kind of a balancing act. Has there ever been for you, I like, so the next question, I really like to humanize my guests. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'll go on the record and admit every time I eat a donut or have some pizza, or, you know, it's really no big deal. Like, I'm a person too, and I like my sweet stuff and I like bad
Yeah.
food sometimes. Have you ever have you ever gone through like a really tough time where you maybe lost your fitness, or you started eating bad, or you gained some weight, or whatever it was, or you hurt your back or anything like that?
Yeah.
Has that
Oh,
happened? And how did you get yourself out of that?
definitely. Well, I had surgery on my left knee in 2016. And at the time, I was teaching fitness 24/7. Like at one point in my teaching career, and I do not recommend this at all, but I was teaching 21 classes per week. And I was also training to be an aerialist. I love the lyra, the hoop. And so I was trying to go to those classes on a weekly basis. And I was just like, it was way too much. And my body responded. And I ripped like a piece of my patella off my knee. And that put me down for a solid 3 months where I had to take it really easy and couldn't, like 6 weeks of no physical movement at all, 3 months of like very like limited mobility. And like I still don't feel like that knee is 100%, like, but a solid 6 months until I felt like I could do my life, my lifestyle again. However, I never returned back to teaching that many classes. But during this downtime, I was depressed because physical movement helps my mental state of being immensely. So not being able to move was really, really hard and really, really challenging. And what do we do when we're depressed? We often like turn to food and drinks.
Yep.
So I started eating a lot more. I started drinking a lot more. And yeah, it was really hard. It was difficult. I like definitely went, it was dark. I'm not gonna lie. It was a dark time. But I remember making the conscious choice. Like you have to have the ability to see that what you're doing is causing you to feel that way. And sometimes that's so much easier said than actually done.
Mhm.
So I realized that what I was putting into my body on a daily basis and the fact that I wasn't moving was the reason why I felt horrible, which in retrospect looks like duh, obviously. But at the time, it wasn't that clear to me because I had
Yeah.
fallen so far out of this space, the physical, like healthy space that I was in, and had went to a completely different space.
Yeah.
So once I was able to identify that in my own mind, and it's like different people obviously have different turning points or like rock bottoms. I mean, it wasn't a rock bottom, but it was a big like, aha, like I know I want to be happier. So I need to start making lifestyle changes to get myself there. And that in turn was a really long process. Like definitely it took like 6 months to a year for me to crawl out of it. And rather than, I'm not a fan of extremes. So I don't believe in like extreme anything. I think everything in moderation, like you can make it work for you. I don't like extreme diets or extreme cleanses. Like it's just small changes every day to get you to the point that you want to be, that are sustainable for your entire life. So like very small lifestyle changes that you can build upon to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. I mean, because the reality is we get into shape slowly and we get out of shape slowly, and it's sort of becoming aware of what direction you're going, because there really are no like the whole like lose weight fast, gimmick every January, that it just doesn't work.
It doesn't
it's not
at
sustainable.
all.
But when I was senior year in college, right, you and I both went to LMU. I was an RA in Rosecrans. Remember Rosecrans?
Oh wow, yeah, I was in Wayland.
Wayland, right across the way. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I was a senior and I was living with all the freshmen, which was a little bit, I think looking back, I was a little depressed because all my friends were living off campus and stuff. And I had, part of our stipend, our salary, so to speak, was meal money. And the Domino's pizza down the street took the meal money. And so I would call them up. I mean, I'm not exaggerating, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
I would get a large pizza delivered to my room. And I wouldn't want, I think I had a tiny fridge, but I didn't really have space for anything. And so I would just eat the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh
along
for sure.
with like
Why not?
a 6-pack of beer. Like it was just the worst. And I ballooned up, and I guess all my weight was like in my neck. And a friend of mine actually saw my graduation picture. This was years later. This is maybe just 5 years ago. And they saw my graduation picture from 2003. And they're like, "Oh, who's that guy?" And I was like, haha. And they're like, "No, I'm serious. Who's that guy? Why do you have a picture of him?" I'm like, "That's me." And they were literally like on the floor. They were laughing for 3 minutes. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I knew you got out of shape, but that's ridiculous."
Oh, well, that's not nice at all of your friend. But yeah.
You're right. I gotta call him up. Hey, that was not nice.
Tell him Nicolette said, no.
That was not nice. You don't want to shame me, even if I'm not that weight anymore. But
well, that's great. I mean,
but it was, I think he was mainly laughing at the fact that, because he would visit me. He went to school down in San Diego, and he would visit me frequently. And I remember it was actually him that he said something that really turned me inside my head, because he knew me in high school. We played football freshman year together, and then we ran track the rest of the time together. And this is like high level stuff. We're running 50 miles a week for track. And
what were your events in track? I'm curious.
My main one was the mile.
Okay. So you would like distance. More
distance. And it's funny because now, well, I don't know. I like sprinting better, but I think I just have a natural gas tank. Like I could just keep going and going.
You got the endurance. I have none of that. I'm like a sprinter all the way. I can give like 30 seconds and then I'm done.
I can't go long. Like I can't, like the 2 mile was too long for me. I was kind of like a mid range, because I'm pretty lean and tall, but I had more muscle than the distance guys, but I was a lot skinnier than the sprinters. So I was kind of that good tweener, right?
Yeah.
So but my friend, he came to my dorm in college, and he's like, well, we were doing a workout. That's what we were doing. And we were doing bear crawls, right? Like just on the ground. And he's like, wow, because I had to rest every 10 seconds. He's like, wow, you really let yourself go, didn't you? And then he kept going, and that just clicked in my head. I'm like, wow, I kind of did, let my standards drop a little bit.
Right.
And that's not a judgment for anyone else who's, not fit right now, but the body really wants to move, and I wasn't moving. And so I suffered the natural consequences of that. I gained weight. I felt bad. My joints hurt, all the stuff that comes with it. So.
But absolutely, bodies are meant to move, and they're meant to also go outside. So whenever I have clients that are struggling with not only their like physical health, but also their mental health, and often the two are correlated in my experience, I'm like, find find 15 minutes to move every day and make sure you go outside. Like,
Yes.
even if it's freezing cold and you live in Minnesota and it's the dead of winter, like bundle up and just get outside for a little bit. It's going to make you feel alive. You need, even though the sun might not be shining, you're still going to get like vitamin D from the sky.
Yeah.
Go out during the daylight. It's so important to get outside and move every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's a certain percentage of the ultraviolet that gets through the clouds. I mean, otherwise it would be pitch black still if it didn't get through. So
exactly.
Yeah, I like that advice. Nicolette, what would you, I want to go really big picture now. Let's put you on a stage. You're a motivational speaker at either a corporation or maybe at a graduation ceremony.
Okay.
What's your 1 to 2 minute motivational talk to these people to help them like get the most out of their lives, whether that's like goal setting or perspective or whatever direction you want to go with it?
Let's see. Okay. Definitely don't sweat the small stuff. You can start anew every single day. It takes 2 weeks to make or break a habit. And the only difference holding you back is your mind. So all you have to do is make your mind up about something, and it is possible. Anything, doesn't matter what it is, as long as you set your mind. And it's easier said than done, obviously. But if you make the change in your mind first, then you can achieve anything you want.
100%. Nice. Yes. I want to give people a chance to contact you also. So website, social media, or do you have any programs out, anything like that?
Yes. So feel free to contact me on Instagram. That's probably where I'm the most active. It's at Nicolette Roux, NicoletteRoux. I'm also on Facebook, again, Nicolette Roux. I'm more active on Instagram, like I said. I also just started teaching for a new fitness platform called Freebeat. We launched September 2021. It is a gamified indoor cycling and strength experience. So we have a really awesome at home. It's a connected fitness experience. So we just got, I'm like doing this. We just got our X bike, which is a really, really top-notch studio cycle, indoor cycle. We have like a swiveling touchscreen, and I am on there teaching indoor cycling classes. I love music requests. So if there's anything you want to hear and you have the X bike, hit me up on Instagram. And I'm always available for any type of questions, health, fitness, or otherwise related.
Nice. Sounds good. Well, Nicolette, I really appreciate you joining me today. Health in the Real World podcast. Hopefully we can see you again soon.
Definitely. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Thanks for listening to the Health in the Real World show. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Visit mycorebalance.com to learn more.